salute, I think, their appreciation of this. Amy Perrett, experienced Australian, on the whistle for this one. But this has got fascination written as in underscore underneath this match caption.
It certainly has. Next to Amy Perrett there, number 9 for Samoa, Bella Milo. We talked yesterday a lot about Anna Yakovleva and the experience that she brings to Kazakhstan. Bella Milo clearly brings a lot of experience, because I used to play alongside her at Wasp. She's been around a while.
I say nothing. It is the former Wasp, Bella Milo, getting play underway. And there's Yakovleva. Everything seems to work around the big Kazakhstani captain. She is involved in nearly everything that seems to happen there, as Repechage has to work her way down the short side. As I say, in flashes yesterday, Kazakhstan looked very, very impressive. Certainly came out of the blocks in fine style against Argentina. Just seemed to pull away a little bit later on in the day.
Yeah, certainly their performance against the Cook Islands less impressive than they'd been early on. Their forward pass there that hands the ball back to Samoa, but Kazakhstan absolutely will be looking to start today like they started yesterday, not how they finished it.
And John Phelan, their Irish coach, wanted his team to, as he put it, hit the action man switch. They certainly came out blasting yesterday. Can they do it again today? In knockout rugby, of course, a different dynamic in the head, knowing that the end of this 14 minutes could decide the ambitions for this weekend.
Of course. Yeah, knockout, there's nothing quite like knockout rugby. It all rests on this one game. In the pool matches, you can make an error but come back and make up for it in later games, but not here and not now. It's all about this.
The winners will, of course, go through to the Cup semi-finals. The losers will be into the 5th place semi-finals. Not quite the same profile or reward, of course. Yakovleva again. The rebound wall in midfield for Kazakhstan, but the bounce not working there.
No, and the slippery conditions not helping either. Normatova lost her footing there when she would have been able to mop up the spilt ball.
Sui Peters gets her hands on the ball, and they cut back. Good hard cut from Brenda Collins. Bella Milo looking at that outside arc, but the ball spilling in any case before that contact came in.
Both teams struggling with the slippery conditions. That pass from Bella Milo slipping forward. They need to try and dry this ball off before putting it into the scrum.
So you wind under, you wind over. Crouch, bind, sit.
Kazakhstan going a little closer to the scrum, trying to pull that blue line in, compact it to make the space further wide. The slam through from Repechage. Working to try and hem Bella Milo into her own 22. Got to be efficient somehow, and they're not. The quick take from Yakovleva. His opportunity going to be taken by number 10, Koshibayeva, and Kazakhstan on the board.
And it came from the kick. The kick worked out well for Kazakhstan, because Samoa didn't get back to help Bella Milo. She's left isolated, and who's there? Yakovleva's there to take the quick tap, pass it out to her teammate, who finishes well, Koshibayeva.
The Kazakhstani captain so aware, so quickly aware of what was on there, and the quick tap was always going to open the door, providing her teammates were up in support, which of course they were. 6 conversions yesterday for Terryeva. In fact, it's not Terryeva, I beg your pardon, it's actually Koshibayeva trying to convert her own try there. Well, they'll be delighted to get points on the board. certainly come out in confident fashion, in positive fashion.
Samoa just need to keep it simple, really. They're struggling with the handling skills. They've got big runners, the Collins sisters. Let them have a run.
Bellamino it is who brings it back in. Peters struggling for the ball at the breakdown. There's an illegal reason why that's the case, so Samoa look to run it from just outside their own 22. For the first time, getting a bit of width on the ball that allows Mulia Fraser to take some possession. Peters, call from Milo, and the Collins girls moving it out wide. Just looking to reset position. That's what Coach Ramsey Tomakino will have been trying to install in them, to keep that clinical aspect to their game, no matter where they're working on the pitch. Federica wanting the cut, shows the dummy and goes. Runs into a brick wall, but is solid enough to stand firm. Mulia Fraser. Bellamino again. Well, there's a case of not being pragmatic, not executing in position. Well, they're going to get the penalty there.
Offside.
Yeah, there was so much space out wide for Samoa, and Bellamino chose to cut back in, but they're still on. It's still on.
Peters gets Yakovleva up in her face. The Collins sisters aren't able to work the ball clear, and the Kazakhstani captain committing everything to that tackle.
It was brilliant from Yakovleva, because there was so much space outside of her, players to spare. Here she comes, she realises that's the case, so just cuts off the pass. That's the one that made it difficult then for Brenda Collins to get hold of the ball, because the pass was poor, but Yakovleva saved her team there. A certain try if she'd not rushed up out of the line.
She seems to have been around for an absolute age, Yakovleva, both in 15s and 7s. She has been, or is the name of Kazakhstani women's rugby, isn't she?
Absolutely, yeah, you can see she just gets a smash in the chin there in the tackle. But yeah, 2006 15s World Cup she was playing. That's a good 10 years ago now, so as you say, she's been around a while. Looks like there's blood, so she's having to come off in the short term, which is a huge loss for them.
32 years of age and still so important in the way that her team work. Replaced by Darren Boyeva. May not be a permanent replacement. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Certainly seems to have done some damage to her mouth as she steps out in front of us here in the commentary position.
Yeah, she's not rushing off the pitch. Normally, if you think they're going to get patched up and put back on, you'd be rushing a bit more quickly there, and she's not, so I suspect we won't see her again.
Well, Samoa are going to try and make the most of her absence. Get the penalty call from referee Perrett. 20 seconds left in this first half, and a huge psychological moment in this match about to happen. Mulia Fraser struggles to the floor. Federica trying to drive those legs, make some headway. Turnover for Kazakhstan. They're just trying to get rid of the ball and get off at half-time with the lead. They manage it just about. Koshibayeva bundles the ball over. She said, what chance did I have with that? Well, at least her team does have the advantage at the break, but it is a slender lead. This match very much in the balance.
I need you to step up now. I need you to step up here big time. You haven't given me a big game yet. I need a big game now from you, please. Okay? You're the captain. Okay? Okay, get ready. Get into position.
Now, very noticeable in the break that the Kazakhstani coach John Phelan stepped up straight away in front of Balzan Koshibayeva, the number 10, and said, you haven't given me a big game yet, you have to step up now. In the absence of Yakovleva, I need a big game from you.
Yeah, sometimes at half-time you get some real technical input from the coaches. Sometimes you get a pep talk. This time it was very much the pep talk. Back to Bayeva, give me a big game.
Well, there she is, fired up. It's in fact fallen to back to Bayeva. Back to Bayeva, feeds inside to the number 10.
Roll away.
Just bundled down, but here's an early opportunity for Kazakhstan. Good hands and a good try from the Kazakhstanis and a big score. Well, my goodness me, they've come out of the blocks quickly there. Klishnikova with her third score of the weekend, but that is the biggest and most important score so far.
It really is, and you're right, of course, it was Koshibayeva that got the pep talk at half-time. Back to Bayeva, who made the break there. And finally, number 9, Klishnikova, who gets over the line. But what a way to start the second half from Kazakhstan. Their captain is off the pitch. You think they might be a little bit worried. She's our talisman. She's the one who always shows us the way forward. Are we worried? No, we're not. We'll show you how it's done. Brilliant from Kazakhstan.
And Darren Bayeva adding the conversion to maximise that score. Well, the word you used there was talisman, and I think that is a key psychological element now for this Kazakhstani side. They have to do it without Yakovleva. They're so used to her being the fulcrum of everything good. Now they've got to show, well, certainly in this match, who knows, in the semi-final, if they can hold on to the lead. The break outside from Stepanuga. Hat-trick in the first game. Just tackle there. Great work from Walia Fraser. She stuck to her task there, the Samoan number 1. And my goodness me, she needed to.
Brilliant, brilliant tackle from Walia Fraser, wasn't it? Stepanuga looked like she was in on the outside. There she goes. Walia Fraser's not giving up, then dives. And that's the tap tackle. Brilliant. She got the boot and all. There's the boot left lonely on the pitch behind her.
Stepanuga tying up those boots that took her across the line 3 times in the opening match against Argentina. She is a very potent, active weapon out wide. Not really been given too much opportunity. That was the first we've certainly seen of her in this quarter-final.
Not so. Captain?
Squint throw from Samoa.
Scramble line.
That's a big one, isn't it? Giving the ball away to your opposition 5 metres from the try line when you're already 2 tries down. You wonder if Kazakhstan will use the same tactic again. Secure good ball here and get it wide to Stepanuga.
Hold.
Good take from Charieva. Trying to get that little inside pop ball was Klishnikova, but couldn't get it over the shoulder. Gonna get the call though. Penalty for Kazakhstan to set up something else from so close in. Big score that couldn't possibly finish this outcome or decide the outcome. Another penalty.
Captain, no more down here.
I tell you what, back to Bayeva, we're glad that she wasn't in the right place there because she knocked it forward. Step and go from Charieva. Gets a little help from her friends, but still not up over the whitewash. They need the ball, they get it now. This time Charieva drops over, and that, I think, could be the all-conquering score for Kazakhstan.
Yeah, it's hard to see Samoa coming back from there. Charieva this time makes it over. You know, Kazakhstan are making it hard for themselves. They are so flat. It's hard to see from the width of the pitch or on your screens, but there is no depth in their black line waiting out, so they simply can't spin the ball wide. In the end, they don't need to. Terjev is right there at the gap in front of her. 3 tries up now, Kazakhstan. Really tough for Samoa to come back from here.
Conversion's good too. Well, Samoa, as I mentioned, started so well against Zimbabwe, started well against Madagascar, but then the last 5 minutes of that game, they seemed to fall away and were blown away by the Russians. And at the moment, still unable to break the bagel in this one.
Yeah, they're struggling for organisation, Samoa. That's part of their problem. Defensively, they're defending in 2s and 3s rather than as a 7.
Take from Brenda Collins isn't clean, so Bellamino picks up the pieces. But once again, Kazakhstan moving up quickly to hem Samoa into their 22. Brenda Collins works it back for Peters, and Kazakhstan just too greedy around the cookie jar there. You can see how Kazakhstan work in 2s and 3s, straight to the breakdown, and more often than not getting the call as a consequence.
Well, here it's just a very blatant off the feet. I think she comes into the ruck and pretty much misses it. The ball goes down. Here she comes straight over the top.
5.5, I think, on the Richter scale for Matua Federica. 5.6 for the gymnastics score.
Thank you.
Klishnikova with the line out. Again, that set piece working very cleanly for Kazakhstan. The rain has abated for the moment, certainly. And that has made a difference to the running conditions. I won't say the underfoot conditions are easy, because it has been wet for most of this morning up until now.
Point. Sit.
Samoa looking to try and open up a chink of light, but they're stuck inside their 22, being suffocated by white shirts. And again, choke tackle from Nurmatova gets its due reward. Terryeva in there as well. Clonk on the nose, I think.
Yeah, I think I saw Bellamino sneak her knee to the floor there, which might have made it a tackle, but I think the ref had called maul already at that point. Good work, good upper body strength from Kazakhstan.
And you can see Amy Perrett almost blindsided by the majority of that ball.
Hold.
Kazakhstan now trying to monopolise possession and this scoreboard, and it looks like it's going to happen again. Nurmatova finishes things off, and this match is done and dusted, and now Kazakhstan can look into the semi-finals with some confidence.
They can, a really good performance from them, and Nurmatova, a lovely piece of individual skill here. A little, what do you call that, a long chip through, but manages to get there first and controls it, touches the ball down. Lovely piece of skill from her, and Kazakhstan well and truly in those semi-finals.
And they've done it without the skip. She's just run off with the medics to try and get her mouth sorted out. Anna Yakovleva will be hoping that she is available for the semi-finals later on. Great conversion following from Darren Bayeva. And that scoreline, well, I didn't think it was going to be this one-sided, but all 3 semi-final quarter-finals have been to 0 so far.
Yeah, dominant performance from Kazakhstan. Samoa simply haven't managed to string any phases together, have they? Haven't managed to secure possession. Been a little bit too scrappy from them.
Last play of this quarter-final. Samoa crestfallen, no doubt, that they're not going to progress in the cup. Just looking to add something as they sprint away with Anna Bui dragged down on a rare visit into the Kazakhstan 22. The support players come off their feet. The hold is too long for referee Amy Perrett, and the game is done and dusted now. as they find the sanctity of touch. Kazakhstan celebrate a 26-0 win. As I say, 3 quarter-finals that have been to nil. I would suggest that the next